So we're okay.
That's pretty cool, music writer. I'm gonna try that, actually. Oh, baby, a cripple. Alright, boys.
Are we ready to get back into things?
Such happy music. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Suck my soul out of my wonk.
Alright, it's not going to be happy music for long, Tripper. Because...
Didn't think so.
So you remember the thing I asked if I could make a check to see what I do?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna make a check to
What
see
is
what
it?
I do. It's a wisdom save. I'll let you guess what I do if I fail.
Just have this up on the
Oh
screen.
god. Oh god.
Just so that we're, ready to just imagine what's happening.
God damn it.
Yeah, so that happens.
Mhm.
Nothingness appears around me.
Okay.
And you just see my eyes go wide. Ref! Yeah, and I charge straight in.
Ah!
Okay. If you charge straight in, give me a charisma save.
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh,
I rolled
my
a
lovely,
6. It
my
wasn't
best
so good.
brother. My best brother. Yay!
Hey,
You will also remember everything that
remember the suffering.
nice.
happened. So, you will have this delayed, but both of you then, I can remove Ref's face if it's not going to focus entirely on him. Both of you will suffer this.
Oh,
The-
God.
As you run towards, as you like scream, you're like, ah, just charge in. Mikhail like raises a hand. He's like, no, Viratija! As you just like run forwards, but
No!
you are
No!
like blind to everything and just like run afterwards.
No!
He finally said something we understood.
He did.
And let's get rid of the happy music.
Oh, fuck.
So, both of you. You are witnessing things. Scenes as if you're just a helpless bystander. Hundreds and thousands of these glimpses into humanity. You learn after the first few as you try but are unable to interfere with anything. And you have to just give in to experience them. You see scenes like a child crying on the street, his face pressed into his hands and his fingers clawing through his hair. We see a passerby come by the child, and as the child like looks up and raises a hand for help, we see his face as he looks up at the man is a visage of horror. We see he hasn't been crying, but the liquid that's dripping from between his fingers is blood. As we see his eyes seem to have been gouged out and there are visible marks of knife around his face. The passerby... No, fuck off. God damn it, I hate drunk people. 0 out of 10, John.
The passerby. No, fuck off.
Yeah. The passerby starts to like quicken their step, like nervously looking at the boy, as we see like the boy is just crying out, like looking for help from anyone that they can get. But we see time pass as you can't see each other. You can only see these scenes that you're sort of like standing in, very Christmas Carol-esque. As you just stand there and watch for days as the boy curls up alone on the cold streets to die. And we hear a laugh. We see a couple in their home, both seeming malnourished and cold in a house with no more lumber to power its fireplace. They sit opposite each other at a table, the man using a knife to cut thin scraps of leather off of a boot, hands one scrap to the woman, who begins to bite and chew into the difficult meal that they've been reduced to. She seems to be struggling with it when the man takes the knife that he was using to slice the boot and goes around to comfort her with one hand and plunges the knife into her throat with the other. He cries as he has his first scrap of meat in months. And we hear a laugh. We see a woman walking the streets with a warm winter coat, cuddling a baby to her chest. The baby is crying and she's trying to calm it down. Both look incredibly thin, and it's likely the baby won't make it through the winter from the looks of the both of them. As she walks past an alleyway, a man jumps out this sort of scraggly-looking individual holding a large stone above his head as he brings it down, bludgeoning her over the head with a rock probably taken from some house's rubble. The man leaves her body crumpled and the baby in her arms lying on the floor, instead reaching for the warm cloak wrapped around her, and he rushes off into an alley. And we hear a laugh. And you guys hear thousands and thousands of these. Continue scene after scene, for what seems like maybe days or weeks. And I'd like both of you to make me wisdom saves.
Oh, I'm not bad at this one.
I'm not good at that.
Difficult DC.
Oh.
That will fail.
Oh.
That'll fail.
I would like to use my inspiration.
Okay, reroll.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll fail. Both of you roll me a d10.
Oh no.
And this is where I tell you about the secret stat I've had in the game the entire time and haven't told you about.
Oh no.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
I have a stat in this game called Sanity.
I knew it.
Which I'm currently keeping as your... I think I have it as your charisma plus your wisdom.
Oh.
Well then.
So, Jarren, you lose 9
Yep.
from your stat, almost halving it.
Wisdom plus what?
It's at 19. It's now at 10.
Nice.
And Ref, you lose 6, going from 17 to 11. So both of you are shaken by this. Literally, in real time, 2 weeks of watching scene after scene of horror. You don't lose your grip entirely on reality or anything, but it starts to slowly... You start to become a bit more disillusioned with with your image of the world and what you thought was real. And suddenly, after awakening from these horrific waking nightmares, everything dissipates. You hear this laughter, constantly this laughter at the end of each one. It echoes through your head, and both of you, since you failed the save, doesn't seem to leave. In the back of your mind, there's always just this cackling laughter. You feel the weight and pain of your mortal bodies, the just dragging sensation of being brought back into them as you fall, collapsing to the ground, your eyes adjusting to see the white above you and the trees around you. You fall towards the ground as the wind whips around you, and your bodies sort of like hit the floor. You groan and roll around trying to orient yourselves, and you find yourselves completely alone in this glade. It seems a little different to how it was before. The layer of ash-like snow coating it that was there seems to be deeper. And where there were previously skeletons and corpses preparing to attack you, there now just seem to be mounds in the snow. Lumps where they once stood. And that's where you guys are. Groaning, pained, and you each have 1 point of exhaustion.
Rough. You still alive?
I don't know. Am I?
Kind of struggle to a knee. Kind of drag myself over to wherever Ref is.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, almost like weakly, just kind of thump his chest. Still. Do you see that?
See what?
Just kind of look at you with a very dead eye.
Oh. You mean?
Yeah. Did that village look anything like the place we came from?
Yes.
Thought so. think we have a better idea of what happened while we were away. Or while I was away, I should say.
We've both been gone. But it's never been a good place.
No.
For seeing all that bad. It's not right.
You hear her, it.
I want to kill something, Jarren. Very badly.
Well, if you want to do that, we're gonna have to live long enough to let it happen. We should find our way back. It's not safe to be here.
No. No, we've got to move. Yeah, Ref's starting to get himself up and then remembers that, like, God, he's probably got crusted blood coming from his ears. Because yeah, it's just like, mind is so frayed from all the psychic trauma that did tend to image to him.
Let's go. Can you find our way back?
I don't know. I need to rest.
We can't rest here.
Then where? We don't know this territory.
We walked here. Maybe we left tracks. You could follow them.
Maybe. Maybe. Does it look like there are any markings of passage? Our passage?
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, shit. A 6.
No. Not that you can tell. You can roll me a perception check as well if you want, Jarren.
Give it a shot.
Just because this isn't something you have to be, nice. This isn't something you have to be explicitly looking out for, but you have to get better than that. Yeah, you
What
don't
do you mean
anything.
I need a better roll? I don't understand.
I think you have disadvantage on ability checks as well, because
Yeah, we do.
There's nothing. Nothing at all. We need to rest. Maybe make a fire. I don't fucking know.
At the very least, let's get some space between this place and us.
Whatever. Shit. Fine. Do we have the slightest idea what direction we came here from?
A reasonable one. There is a pathway that's
Okay.
loosely, like if I move you back over, at least for like the first little bit, there's like this sort of like shitty path that you guys can follow.
Yeah. I will start trudging along.
And as you guys start hitting tree cover, I would like you, whichever one of you is going to be leading the way or trying to find the way, to roll survival.
I believe that's probably you.
Yeah, I'm just the more adept at that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm basically hobbling, I'm hobbling around like I'm drunk almost.
Yeah, you've probably got like a bruised section over your sort of like chest from where you like hit the ground, so you're sort of like holding that as well as you're like sort of like stumbling from like tree to tree, moving forwards.
I've also got this horribly pained expression on my face.
Mm-hmm.
Survival. It's pretty good.
Nice. You notice as you go that seemingly along the way, as you continue, you start noticing that there are very intentionally snapped branches that seem to have been snapped like by a blade going into them and then being snapped along the route that seem to be almost like basically forging a rough like straight line, and you just start following those.
They've left us a trio. Good on them.
Good.
Mm-hmm. And you follow and follow.
Yeah.
And after perhaps an hour of walking, maybe 2, you're not sure. Actually, you guys are slow, probably a bit longer, but yeah, you go.
Actually, if I'd say after walking about 10 or 15 minutes, Ref would begin to would slump against a tree.
Mm-hmm.
I need to rest, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be of no use if we're attacked by some beast in this state. Just an hour, no longer.
Where's the sun in the sky at this point? Sorry.
Hard to see through the trees. When you were back in the glade, it was directly overhead.
Okay. But a lot of time passed, right? Oh, no, in the glade when we woke up, right?
When you woke up,
Okay.
it was directly overhead.
Yeah. I just look at you and like maybe the exhaustion of myself kind of hits you as well. All right. Just for a bit.
You guys are just gonna have a short rest?
Yeah. I slump fully onto the tree and just fall on my ass.
Roll me
against it.
a joint stealth check.
Haha. I'll be able to make up for whatever you do, I hope. But we'll see. Guess yours probably isn't terrible.
My stealth is it's a 50-50. Hey.
It's pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, so you aren't disturbed during your time.
Okay.
And managed to get a short rest in. So if you guys
Nice.
want to roll hit dice, anything like that.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yes. I will also regain a first level spell slot with my ability.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at 1 hit die.
And
Cool.
hey, I'm back to full.
Nice. So you guys
an hour.
sit down for an hour. Yeah, you look down at the owl that's in your like the half-eaten owl that looks a lot more appetizing right now.
Yeah.
Could I over the course of the hour, could I have been inspecting the magic item I took off of the corpse?
Yes, by inspecting, are you trying to attune or are you inspecting?
Trying to I made my religion check earlier, so I don't really know much about it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that like the god is considered evil, right?
Yes.
Should totally.
But is it considered evil in terms of like it's a needed balance for the god that is good?
Sort of, yeah. Basically, Brother Day is civilization, warmth, hearth, that sort of thing. Sister Night is generally elements, crops withering and dying, sacrifice, that sort of thing.
Instead, over the hour, can I just cast Identify as a ritual?
Yep.
I'll do that.
Okay. So you cast Identify, and you basically learn this.
Take thoughts. Nice.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
So I think for flavor, like as you're like identifying it, you've got it like in your hands, holding onto it, and you just start hearing whatever like Ref is thinking as you're like identifying it. You just start like these wisps of thought start coming into your mind.
Got to kill something, but too weak.
Calm down. You'll get your kill soon enough.
That's in my head.
Yeah, and I respond vocally.
Yeah, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, and then I realized it wasn't you saying it. It was like,
Oh, you wanna? I know.
You look down at his hands and see like this skull, like medallion that he's holding, like this brass skull.
What's that?
it's the. I found it on the body before they attacked. I think it's letting me read your thoughts to some extent. Interesting. Useful. In case someone is lying to us.
Don't be using it on me.
No, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I didn't know how it worked.
I trust you on that.
Alright, well. Yeah, and I just put it in one of my pouches.
Cool.
It would take another hour to attune to it, right?
It takes a short rest. So
Okay, yeah, I'll attune to it later.
that's cool. You can do it before. I'll let you do it like in the 8 hours of a long rest as well.
Cool.
So you are going to spend the short rest doing that. Ref, you're just like trying to
resting.
control your breathing, trying to calm yourself down, trying to just recover some energy.
Yeah, because at the end of it, it's the majority of my trauma is mental, so I'm just trying to like recenter myself and basically become almost lucid again. Yeah, just sort of like smelling it's really a strange thing, actually, just smelling the sort of semi-cooked owl, trying to use that scent to ground myself in reality a bit more. And
yeah, you're just like
helps.
staring at it.
Yeah, like this is real. This is a real thing I'm holding. Yeah, and that just helps.
Yeah, cool. So eventually your short rest finishes, and I think you probably have to like pull yourself to your feet with quite a lot of effort, Ref, but you are able to do so.
Nice.
And Jarren, you like slide up a tree, like using it to pull yourself up.
Yeah. Very labored.
And you guys continue?
Let's go.
Alright. Yeah, I'll forge ahead. A lot more lucid and sort of sobered than I was before. In a sense.
Okay, cool. You still have your 1 point of exhaustion, so I'm going to say you're moving at like 3/4 pace as opposed to like full pace or half pace. So it will take you roughly 2.5 to 3 hours to get to the place you're going. And you will journey through the trees as they start to become less twisted, less dark. Everything becomes a bit lighter. The greenery comes back. You start hearing the sounds of like tweeting birds, that sort of thing. Everything becomes a bit less intense and a bit less just corroding at your already slightly disturbed thoughts.
As we're walking, I just wanted, like, when we were coming in the first time, I was keeping a casual eye out for the flowers that we were asked to look for.
Yep.
Now, I'm still looking for them, but it's almost as like, I'm following Ref, and as long as Ref's in my periphery, that's what I'm doing. But when I'm looking for these flowers, it's very pointed, like I'm using all of my ability to focus on something on that.
Okay. Roll nature or survival then.
Just using that as a means to distract me from anything else.
Yeah, distract you from actual thought, just like focusing on the thought. Like you probably keep repeating in your head, like, is it there? Is it there? Is it there? Like, like just trying to have a thought to almost drown out some of like the just background cackling and memory of the experience you just had. Nice.
Exactly.
So you find two things. One, as you're leaving the area, you see this sort of this flower, not really a flower, more just like a plant. And it looks almost like this is while you're still in like the tainted ground area, probably during your short rest. You find this thing, it looks almost like a Venus flytrap. But you notice within each mouth there is a little bud of some sort of, you're not even sure what it is, but it looks very unique and interesting, as if it might be something valuable. You sort of like probably recognize it from a textbook, but don't remember where you read about it.
Okay.
And as you continue on, you also find some of the flower you're looking for, this like white to blue tinged, petaled, cupped flower as you get into the more green space. And it's sort of like a warm thing, like a win that you're able to claw from the last few hours.
Yeah, and I'll gather up however many I find.
Okay, roll me a d6 plus 1, because you're rolled really high. Nice. So you're able to get like basically 2 usable samples.
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, you just cut them off at like the base of the step. Just throw to probably like a vial or something you've got at your side.
Yeah, just store them away.
Cool. And you guys continue walking. Ref sort of like head down, focused, like keeping an eye out for any game or just anything that he would be able to unleash some frustration on. But as you continue, everything seems to be keeping a very safe distance. Okay, roll me a perception check, because everything's keeping a safe distance, but if you have a longbow, there aren't very many safe distances from a longbow.
Yeah. 20.
Nice. As you're going, you notice very far off, you probably see it just because as it comes to a gap in the trees, it seems to just hunker down, just having noticed you. In the snow, now lying completely almost flat, is this white furred fox. That seems to be just like trying to remain hidden, very distant from you.
How distant?
Probably like 100 feet.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's something I'm gonna.
And I imagine as you and Jarren are walking, you just like hold up a hand and you just stop, like so you can keep the clear line of sight on it.
Pretty.
And
much.
I just bump into you because my head is like turned, looking around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like try not to let that disturb sort of my focus on the fox, and without saying anything to Jarren, I'm gonna start to crouch low, just sidle up to a tree, and pretty much I'd like to stealthily attack this thing with my longbow.
Okay.
If that is feasible. Okay. Would you like a stealth check?
It is aware you're there, so I'm gonna just have you make a roll. If you hit, it will be sneak attack though, just because it's a very small form.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Then I'll simply fire my longbow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have disadvantage on it, I don't think. Yeah. It's just an ability
it's just
check.
a straight roll.
Nice. Okay.
Nice. That will hit. And you see this thing like almost bound, almost like it leaps, which is odd.
Yeah.
Not what you'd expect from a fox. And this arrow hits into it and it lies dead as you start to see red start to pull around it. You can still see its body like heaving slightly, but you seem to have hit it roughly near the heart, or at least in the lungs.
That's what I needed, Ruben. Yeah, as soon as I know that I've hit it and sort of disabled it, I'm going to pull a scimitar out and just be like, I'll be back. And in this really brooding and almost, like, I guess, monstrous way, like this is how you might imagine an orc sort of walks up to downed prey. He just stalks up to the fox and then basically kneels onto it and drives.
There's a moment where a tree blocks your vision. Yeah. Like you just move past the tree as you're just like going forwards determined.
Yeah.
And see as you get closer, it's not a big thing, but just slightly disconcerting. It's not a fox.
Uh-oh.
It's just an albino rabbit. Its eyes white, its fur completely white. And it's still a kill. It's still breathing. It's
That's
like leg weakly kicking. But it's just like, your head is just like, what?
Yeah.
Like that was definitely a fox. That's not just like you miss seeing.
So there's probably like 2 seconds mid-gate where I don't show it really, but in my head I'm like, that is very strange. This has not happened to me. Yeah. And I get to it, and I'm going to spend a second sort of like analyzing how I might have made the mistake. Like there's no mistaking a fox for a rabbit. Right? Yeah, but I'm
at least with like the clarity you were able to see it with a 20 perception check.
Yeah, I'm going to carry on with what I was going to do anyway. I take the scimitar out and I'm
It's not a big change. It's just like a moment where you just like shake your head, sort of like doubt yourself for a moment.
Yeah. And I basically want to just gash its throat.
Yeah, and blood starts pouring out. The thing like stops the weak kicking that it was doing with one of its legs.
Yeah.
And the thing falls limp in your hand as you're like holding the scruff at the back of its neck.
Shit. I'm gonna retrieve my arrow from it quickly, and then simply grab it by that same scruff and start walking back to Jarren and just kind of beckon him to continue walking as though nothing had happened.
Yep. Cool.
Come on.
Right.
We got a bunny.
Yep.
Oh boy.
And you guys will continue onwards, making your way through the trees, weaving, and after a little while more, you'll come to the clearing that you spent the night in. Presumably just the prior evening, just a few hours ago.
Okay.
But it feels like weeks at the very least. The campsite seems empty, like empty to the degree where the X spit made of 2 sticks is just gone. The campfire looks dead, as if it hasn't been lit for quite a while, and any sign of anyone being here is just almost all but disappeared, apart from footsteps.
Ref would like to put a number to that quite a while. Could he try... God, more fucking investigating. Could he try...
I was about to say, that's going to be an intelligence check.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. He's wise, but he doesn't know how to, like, process these things. But yeah, he's still going to try it. He's going to go up to the fire, and he's going to just kind of, like, run his hand across the burnt pieces of wood and basically...
Yeah, you, like, pick up like, a
off.
sort of this piece of charcoal and, like, break it in your fingers and, like, feel the sort of crumbs, almost, of this wood.
Yeah, and if I may... Maybe not necessarily on... Maybe on that alone, because he doesn't really know what else to think about, but he would like to...
investigation check, please.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
It's been more than a day.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
You aren't really sure what signs to look for.
That's true, yeah.
But it did feel like 2 weeks-ish, like a few weeks for you.
Oh.
Like when you were seeing all those visions, you aren't sure whether that's just because of like time being weird. Like you didn't like sleep while you were there, so
right.
It's weird.
Okay.
It's like an extremely prolonged dream, but you remember all of it as if it was real.
I don't think anyone's been here for a while.
What time of day is it by now?
It's probably getting to mid-afternoon.
No, you're right. Should we look around?
Probably the best idea.
Sure. Also, yeah, and I'll start a fire. And I will firebolt at the fireplace, or where the spit was. And then use control flames to just make that tiny flame a lot bigger until it's working fire.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna survey the surroundings of the camp, see if, hope against hope, there might be tracks leading to or from. There might be someone in the trees or whatnot.
Okay. Roll me a survival check.
Exploring for signs of passage. 14.
You spend a little while doing this, maybe like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And you get a fair... You don't get too far away, but you get a fair distance away from the glade itself, and in one direction, you notice caught on sort of a rough, snapped section of just like a twig. Not intentionally snapped, just like naturally snapped by some big creature walking past it. There seems to be some fur caught on it that's greyish-white. That's the only thing you find.
I'm gonna pull this up. The wild man wasn't necessarily wearing hides. He was just kind of wearing a loin.
Furs.
Furs. Okay.
Lots of furs. He's very... That picture's a very good depiction of what he looks like.
Okay, so it's not very plausible that what he was wearing could have torn on that.
No, it's probably... if it was anyone, it's more likely to be Phallus than anyone else.
Okay. Interesting. But the twig is broken. Like how high is it?
Like at shin height.
Perfect. Okay.
That's the only thing you find.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go back to Jarren. Well, I might know where we start our search next. After we've taken some time.
Sure. What'd you find?
Some fur. Might have belonged to the Bjart's hound. Or at least I hope.
Right.
Suppose we'll see.
You think we spend the night here?
Remind me, what time of day is it again? I know you just said Ribbon. But...
Mid to late evening.
Okay.
Mid to late afternoon, sorry.
Oh, mid to late afternoon. How many hours would you say it took us to get from town to here?
I said 2 to 3, I think.
Yeah.
So if you got back to town, at the same pace as you were coming here, you'd be able to get there by the time it was getting dark.
I think we could get back in time. I think we might be good to try, at least.
If you're confident you can get us back, I don't see why.
confident as I'll ever be. I don't know, things are hazy. Maybe
I'm tired.
we might be better off resting. Yeah. Well, let's cook up the rabbit. Maybe we'll think better on a full stomach.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'll go back to the fire and take a moment to relish in the warmth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put the rabbit on the spit.
Oh, Ref.
Yeah.
Let me see your blades. Touch them up while you're working.
Alright. I didn't get a chance to cut them on any of those monsters we fought earlier. But I suppose.
I need something to keep my mind busy.
Understood. Yeah, I'll take off my belt, because that's the easiest way to give them both blades, and I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I take those blades, and Ref's seen me do it before, but I start to conjure just my workspace, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And since I have I have control over like the color, the heat of the fire. Whenever I'm working on anything blacksmithing, it's a purple flame that I just erect around myself as sort of, this is my area.
Yep.
And I'll take out my tools and I'll start working on them.
Cool. So you do that, and we're left with this scene of you hammering away. As I think we begin, and Ref like sort of spinning this rabbit as we begin to pan out. And that's where we're going to end for today.
Ooh.
Nice.
On the upside, you guys hit level 3.
Hey!
Woo! God,
So that's
damn.
good.
That's nice.
Big decisions, dude.
All right. Now's
Man.
the time to decide, Tripper, what class you want to be.
Well, here's the kicker. I was seriously considering going Eldritch Knight.
How's this music?
This is
more...
great. This is good decision-making music, I tell you what.
You're going Eldritch Knight?
I don't know. I'm like really tempted, but I'm also tempted to maybe multi-class, but I'd go Warlock if he had any like strong predilection to, you know, give his service to someone or something. But I don't know, man. Eldritch Knight's pretty fucking cool when your brother's a fucking wizard blacksmith.
You can't go Warlock, I don't think.
Oh, I have 5 charisma. That's right. I can't.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I go Warlock if I have a 5 charisma? Jesus
You can only go Wisdom, or... You can only go Wisdom casters, or Eldritch Knight doesn't have like an entry cost.
No,
so.
I still shouldn't go Eldritch Knight now that I think about it.
Sorry, Papa Kush. I know you want more, but you'll have to wait till next week.
Wow. Actually, in terms of multi-classing, yeah, I actually couldn't multi-class into a magic user.
You'd have to go into Monk or...
I couldn't be Monk, I don't think.
Ranger. Monk is Dexterity Wisdom. Oh no, you need 13
I have 12 wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What
you
are
could
the...
multi-class into almost anything, really.
I know. I'll have to check. But what are you thinking, Jonathan? Yours is probably a lot easier of progression.
Well, you say that.
I'm multi-classing into Artificer, and...
Oh, no.
No, but there is something I would, but I do not have the stats for it, so alas, no dice.
Alright.
Damn it.
Oh, I'm happy you think so, Darksage. Thank you.
Let's see.
For people in the VOD, Darksage said, well, this was an amazing session.
It was good. I enjoyed it a lot.
I'd agree. Very different from anything I've ever played in, and very, very refreshing. Good. Thing is, we were joking. Well, we were joking about, like, I love that. I love being disadvantaged as a player. Honestly, I do. I think it's different. It's fun. But like when we were joking about, oh, skeletons so generic, what we totally didn't expect this. Oh boy. In my head I was like, you know, they are kind of generic, but let's see where this goes. And it went somewhere totally out there. It's like, let's watch tragedies over and over and over and over again.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bon Joey, no, I'm sorry.
Shit's fucked up. Dude.
I just got here, so could you restart, please?
could you restart?
Could you,
Well, Joey,
could you
the
do
VODs, will be up on YouTube hopefully by Wednesday, so you'll be able to check those out. The link is below the Twitch channel, or if you're already watching this on YouTube, you don't need it because you're already on YouTube. Just click on the Loading Dice YouTube page.
This is tragic. Okay, if I were to go Eldritch Knight, I would have a -2.
I would. By the way,
points.
your character sheet I think is still popped out. If you want to get it up,
It is.
like on the
that
actual
would be a
screen,
good idea.
so people can see you leveling up.
That would be a good
Also,
idea.
if you guys want to roll health, that might be fun.
That will
hey.
be fun.
Hey.
It's
No
also-
build up. I'm just doing it. Let's go. Hey, max health. Let's do it.
There it is. There it is. What a man. What a mighty good
Prepare
man.
to be disappointed.
Holy crap.
Oh,
you
that's
have,
pretty
like,
good.
Nice.
Never mind. I made up
you
for
have
my last
19
level.
HP now. And you have...
I'm much better. I now have
You have
27.
27.
Yeah, this
not
is
bad. Not
We're
bad at
going
all.
well. We're doing decent. I think I'm back to average, actually.
I am back to average as well.
Nice.
Got this resource in Twitch, which you will be able to spend for things later on. Things like buying players' items and that sort of thing. We haven't implemented the infrastructure for that yet, but in future games, not in this one. Because if you guys bought, like, you know, a deck of many things in this game,
That'd be
it would,
ridiculous.
ruin
So
the whole game.
stupid. Yeah.
So Ruben,
Hello, I'm Ruben.
I know I already rolled health, but
No.
I don't know if I'm gonna be taking a level in Wizard.
Okay.
I just got
What?
excited. Yeah, I know, right?
Like, but why?
Because
Okay,
of
here's the compromise.
Mhm.
Whatever you multi-class into, you'll get a 6 on the roll. Because you rolled
I
a
mean,
6 in Wizard.
I just got excited, man.
Yeah, that's my compromise.
Okay, it's not a compromise.
For
when you
most
know-
classes, 6 is still above average.
For most, you say.
I mean, I'm guessing you're not going to multi-class into Barbarian.
Ah.
There it is.
So the answer is maybe,
Good.
and the reason is
don't
because
understand.
I just lost half my sanity.
Barbarian Wizard, everyone.
Hell yeah!
It's a hell of a combo.
I just want to know if, like, it seems like a cool idea. No, it's not optimized, but who cares?
Speaking of not optimized, how about an Eldritch Knight whose spell save DC is 8?
Just take utility spells that don't need save
That's
DCs,
probably going to be the plan ultimately.
like rituals and light and that sort of thing.
Let me see if it makes
Like
sense.
things like Featherfall don't require any like actual ability, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Shield's a good one.
that's a good point. Shield's great, actually.
You don't need any like spell for that. That's just
Yeah.
like a free shield.
Yeah.
Shield is also one of the ones that you would want as an Eldritch Knight because
Very
it's like,
much.
oh, I'm a fighter who can add 5 to my AC as a reaction. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But you can only do that if you have one hand free. So bear in mind you'll have to have like one hand free, I think.
Oh. For shield, I want.
I think for casting spells as an Eldritch Knight, I think instead of needing. Oh no, you might be right.
I mean, like, well, if there's a somatic component, of course I need a hand free. Absolutely.
Yeah. For shield, I don't think you do.
I'm hoping not, because I'd very much.
Like to not have that.
Yeah, right. Let me see.
I've
Damn,
decided
shield is
if I go
somatic.
barbarian, it'll not be this level.
Okay.
Fuck, shield
So
is
you'll be taking
somatic.
that 6 wizard.
Yee.
Shield is somatic.
Yes, it is.
I think there is something in Eldritch Knight about being able to cast spells without doing some. Well, I think it might be while a shield is equipped, or something like
I can
with your
look into
shield
that.
hand.
Oh no, that's I think there's a.
Oh, that's Warcaster
Yep.
or something.
Yep, Warcaster. So something that I might have to get my brother to get on, but I hope doesn't sound too gamey. Like, thing is, I'm totally fine with basically sacrificing a hand for that, but I don't want to have to like drop a short sword on the ground because this guy normally fights with dual short swords. I don't have to drop one on the ground anytime I want to cast something. Do you think it would would it be a feasible thing if I were to get a chain that were attached to my belt as well as like the pommel of one of my scimitars? Just so if I wanted to cast a spell, I wouldn't have to drop it on the floor every time I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
If you can get any sort of smith who's willing to sell that to you, which I mean,
Hey.
you might be able to get someone to create it. You'll need to get the raw ingredients for it.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, of course. You'd have to modify my
and
weapon.
You know, there are plenty of people who are willing to trade stuff for food right now. So
that's a good point, actually. That's a good point. Okay, I think I am gonna go Eldritch Knight just because, like, I do think my brother's a cool guy.
My brother's a cool dude.
Wait a minute, do Eldritch Knights? Oh fuck, Eldritch
Knights.
They don't have a requirement.
They have a spell book.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, but they don't have a spell book, I don't think.
Yeah, they do.
It doesn't say that on their thing.
Oh, I thought they did. That's so weird.
I don't think they do. They just take wizard spells.
They don't. Never mind. Okay, that's so weird because apparently I learned through memorization. And
you don't have to do this, but if you want to, is there an in-world like fluff reason for why you? Why you go into Eldritch Knight? Is that just because like you realize like when you touched the stone and there was like the latent magical potential, it also like sort of clicked something in your head as well?
I think as long as you're okay with a concession of sorts, because Eldritch Knight, it says by the book, your intelligence is your spellcasting ability since you learn through study and memorization. I don't want to change intelligence of the ability because that's a rule. But could we say that rather than it being based on memorization, it's based on instinct?
Yes, that's what I was saying. It like activated that thing that's like and sort of like that's gonna be interesting. If you ever meet your dad, he's gonna be an interesting dude. Or like or anyone in your like mother's bloodline. I'll need to decide which one of them has this like latent magic that's sort of activated in both of you.
Okay, so do you wanna say I'll still shit. This is gonna be weird.
I'll still shit.
Because this is sounding more and more like almost a sorcerer, but I don't know. I don't really care about the details as long as you're okay with it sort of being more instinctual.
I'm okay with you fluffing that sort of thing.
Perfect.
However
That's it. That's it. Yeah. I mean, like if I wanted it to be sorcerer based, I'd have another negative to add on to it. So no. Hell no.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think I am gonna go Eldritch Knight then. I think that's cool. Yeah.
I get 2 more spells.
I believe so because you get 1 as you level. No, you get 2 as you level every time.
You're a wizard,
right?
Yeah,
nice.
Sweet.
So we are a Eldritch Knight. Excuse me.
So there's a spell from the Zenithar's Guide. I don't know what it does, but it's called Agonazer's Scorcher. So it sounds like something I need to have.
It's pretty. Sounds like it might, you know.
Sounds like something that like sounds like a fucking like a word that an Australian person would use to describe a female.
Oh, cool. She's an Agonizer's Scorcher.
Oh, apparently it's a throwback to a 3.5 spell.
Yes, it makes a line of flame 30 foot long and 5 foot wide, which emanates from a direction you choose, and each creature in the line must make a dexterity saving throw or take 3d8 fire damage on a failsave. Half as much on a successful one.
That's pretty good.
I'm sorry, we can't read chat in the middle of like a very intense scene though, Warkaiser. Like in the middle of like a, you know...
What's he saying?
The actual gameplay, we can't read chat.
Boy, I swear...
Which is why we sort of take the breaks and like come back and be like, "Hey, everyone."
Yeah, boy. Is this the Middle Earth map? No.
Yeah, to replace Frosty, you'd have to have both me and Jonathan to make up for that, beautiful man. You'd need 2 people to make up for that one Frostmire.
Oh, that's cool. Ottoman Turks had ropes that were attached to their cutlasses and tied around their wrists to prevent weapon dropping. I could just use a rope, but that could have bad repercussions if, I don't know, like, someone uses a fireball on me.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you think about that, Ruben?
I mean, that sounds exactly like how that would happen. Yeah, if anyone rolled, like, just shy of your AC, I might have them like cut the rope as well, like 1 shy of your AC.
Okay.
Because if they're swinging at you and they miss, and there's this rope just trailing behind you, it seems likely that if they get that like right in the sweet spot, they would accidentally like cut that as well. Only with slashing weapons, of course.
Okay. That'd be perfectly fine by me. Yeah. Could be a good middle ground. Let's see. I get spell casting.
The spell that I wanted in the middle of that fight was Shatter, and now I have access to it.
Nice. I would have fucked their day up.
I just wanted to destroy the pillars, but I had no good way of doing it.
Oh, shit.
But Shatter was made for that.
No excuse for not... the point... I don't know if you're being serious or not, Warkaiser, but I'll take it as seriously. The point is that, like, when we're playing a D&D game, we want it to be as, I guess, genuine an experience as possible, and, like, to do that is to cut ourselves off from everything else, basically.
What he's trying to say is you're ruining his immersion.
Yeah, I tried to not say immersion, but, you know, there it is. Blam. Okay, I don't know. I don't think it's being serious. We have a schedule on here, buddy. I don't think it's going to change until Frosty. I need D&D more often for real. I will pay money.
Good opportunity to plug here.
Well!
Hey, now.
I mean...
Well, if you want to pay money to play D&D...
I mean, he says you need to watch it more often, Papa Kush, or you want to play it. Because the thing is, if you guys really want to see more D&D, like, I always want to play more D&D. Just do more. Like, what the hell, man? What the hell, Gast? You know, we always got ideas rolling around, and I've got a whole shit ton of stuff, and Ruben and Frosty have been whining at me to run games, so...
Hell
you know,
yeah.
like, I want to run...
We're close, guys. We've almost pressured Tripper into running, like, an actual campaign.
Right. What are you talking about? The only reason I haven't is because of scheduling, man.
This close, everyone.
Oh,
this close.
Jesus Christ. The only reason scheduling. I will stand by that excuse because it's legitimate.
Sure. Yeah,
it's legitimate.
Because me and Frosty don't have a schedule, you know.
I can go to my workplace and give them the doctor's slip instead of a doctor's slip. It says it's because of the schedules.
Yeah, sure. Of course, dude. I believe you. Do you guys need to do anything else?
Bullshit.
Key to Ripper. Okay, that's
or are you good?
I'll pick spells and stuff before next session, you know?
Yeah,
no worries. No need to do that on stream.
Yeah, but I think we're good.
So I think that's the session. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is where the VOD will end. We'll probably remain for a few more minutes and chat with everybody. But we're very close to the end now. It's 2:25 in the morning, so...
Yeah.
I'll see you guys. I'll see you lovely folk later.
Good day. Hell yeah.
Goodbye.
All right. Now, for all you actual people...
Now,